this one is more practical in the sense that we are trying to see the difference in two images. For this one, we are using two images. So on the examples, you can go to TIFF1 and TIFF41, and if you open them, you can open them and see them. So this is the image for TIFF, and if we change to the, you can have more than one file open. You can leave this one open, the previous one powder, or you can close it. Doesn't matter. And you have this is TIFF image 1, and you can also open 41. So these were taken at different times. We can see how this one is very noisy. It has not clear definition. And the last one in the set is very concentrated. So there is the focus shifts to this region on the image. I'm using these files to create an example to see what's the difference between the first image and the last image. And the easiest thing I could think of is just subtracting the two images and see what we get as a result. So that's what I'm going to do now. If you go back to this on slide 12 and 13, okay, yeah, so this is just an exercise which tries to see if you can think of the order in which we should do these operations to get the differences. This is what we are going to be doing. So open the first image, connect the plot of the first image to the Python console, get the data, and this is the same steps we already did for the very first exercise. That's the idea. So we get the data and we store it in a variable. We can call it variable 1. We open the second data set. We get the data. We store the data in a second variable, call it variable 2. And then we calculate the difference and we plot this difference. So all that we are going to do is reuse the steps we already seen for the first part of the practice and apply it in this exercise. So this is trying to practice what you did. After that, we are looking at another exercise. What are the methods for plotting a 2D data set, getting the data, and assigning the default plot view name? And finally, this is the 8 steps that we were talking about 2 slides ago. You can copy line by line into your console view, or just copy the whole thing and paste it. And the console will execute each line at a time until you get to the final part. So the first thing is connecting to the dataset plot, getting the data bin, creating variable 1, opening the second file, selecting the dataset in plot view, connecting to the plot to the plot view, getting the data and passing the data to the second variable, and finally just plotting the difference to see what's the difference between these two images. As I said, you can do this line by line, but just to show you that it works when you copy everything. I just paste everything, and you see it did many things. I'm not looking. I don't know. Oh, okay. it will not, it will give me something very, very strange. You will see that plot is like that, because I didn't do the pause of changing between data sets. So this got all the data from TIFF1, then got all the data again from TIFF1 and pass it to variable 2. And that's why I got this strange green image, which means there is no data there. I don't know why 0 is like that, but or no data is like that, but that's what I got. So what I'm going to do is to do it in stages. So the first part up to here is create that variable 1 with the first image. So I just copy this data, copy, paste. So now variable 1 has this data. Now I change to variable 2 to the second image, image 41, and then I copy the rest of the script, which is used to, so that I get variable 1 and variable 2. Copy and paste. So down to variable 2. Now I have different data in both variables. Variable 1 has some data and variable 2 has different data. So I can see it here. So that's the data in variable 2. And this is the data in variable 1. And if you see the data in these arrays is different, they are the same size, the dimensions of the arrays is the same. And that's another important thing. If you are doing operations with arrays, it's your responsibility to make sure that the arrays are the same size. If not, Python will give you an error of mismatch in sizes. So that's the thing. So now I have these two variables. Now I can do the final part, which is getting the difference and plotting to a new plot space or plot view. So that, and this time I won't get that strange green image. So this is the difference. You can see the difference between the data on this plot and this data set. This is the difference. So from this one, which is very noisy, there is some definition there. So that is consistent with the region here that also has some interest. It's looking like a region of interest, and that also happens in this. You see the difference is almost the same. I think. Yeah, the high values, the very wide values are the highest values, and the dark values are the smallest values. So the darker they get, the smaller the number you get on the coordinates. So by moving your cursor around the image, you can see how these values change on the image, these points. So the value is the value at some point. And yeah, that's what this exercise does, and we are halfway through with an hour. So is everybody okay this far?
It's okay. One question.
Yes.
This difference is simple subtraction, or is it more than simple subtraction?
It's a simple subtraction. If you see the command here, I said variable 2 minus variable 1.
Okay.
And that's the thing. It's doing the array operation, so that's why the arrays have to be the same size, because it goes point to point. You're subtracting. So that's where we are now.